Friends and family, this is Michael Cerra. We got married over the weekend and I thought it would be a good idea to formally introduce him to all of you by talking about who he is, how we met, and our first few dates and where we are now. Michael is a well-known actor and comedian. He got his start in Arrested Development, a TV show based on the banana stand that I actually worked at, so I relate to this heavily. Since then, he's been in many movies such as Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, Juno, and Gregory Go Boom. My favorite, of course, is Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. He was actually born in Canada but moved to America to pursue acting, so we can't technically say that he was born and raised there, but he was just born there. Michael has been courting me since I met him in Central Park at 2 in the morning last May. I had just gotten pickpocketed on my way home from seeing Hamilton for the 4th time. He was walking to his car and saw that I was distressed and called the police for me. He stayed with me until the police came and then he left. He searched for me on all social media, but since I'm very low-key about everything I do, he couldn't locate me. He ended up going to see Hamilton and asked Lin-Manuel Miranda himself if he had recognized me. Of course he had said yes, because Lin and I have a strange past, but that's another speech for another time. Lin gave me a call and I talked to Michael for hours. He ended up deciding he was going to come visit me in California, so he bought a plane ticket and stayed at a hotel in Los Angeles. I had worked every single day, so I couldn't catch him. Eventually it was time for him to go back, and he decided he loved Los Angeles so much that he bought a house instead of leaving. I found out later it was because he wanted to stay near me. We finally got to go on that date that he had asked me on, and it was absolutely awful. Everything that could go wrong went wrong. The restaurant lost our reservation, he had an allergic reaction to soup, and it was just a mess. He was panicked, so I told him we could have a do-over, but I had to plan it. He agreed, so we went to go see a documentary my friend Derek had produced called Tangerines, the true life of agnostic plastic shoemakers. It was honestly mind-bending. All 5 plastic shoemakers followed in this documentary ended up coming to Christ, which convinced Michael to come to Christ as well. We got pretzels from downtown Disney because I told him how much I loved their Wetzel's pretzels. It was a 3-hour drive, but it felt like 10 minutes because Michael talked the entire time and we listened to his mixtape he was making with Paul Simon of Simon and Garfunkel. I was very impressed. It was absolutely beautiful. He drove me home after and he said he knew he was going to marry me. So flash forward 5 months. We had decided to go to downtown Disney to get pretzels, and imagine this, I got my pretzel bites back, and there's a ring in one of them. I turned to look at Michael, who looks so confused, and he told me that it's not his. Get this, one of the workers had accidentally dropped her ring in the pretzels. Flash forward 5 more months, and we're walking past the Pasadena City Hall, where Parks and Rec was filmed, and he says, LOL, wouldn't it be so funny if we got married right now? And we laughed, and then he got on one knee and proposed to me. It was just us two, a random woman waiting to get inside, and a person from City Hall, and I wouldn't have had it any other way. Now here we are, married and in love. We live in Portland, where I get to pursue directing at our local theater, and Michael travels for work, but not too often. We plan on having 4 kids. The first girl will be named Sarah, as in Sarah Sarah. The rest will be named after different kinds of vegetable. Michael is a celebrity after all. Of course we will name our children absurd names. Michael, I love you very much, and I am sure my family already does as well. How can they not after what happened with Lynn? I'm kidding. Sort of. So welcome to the family, Michael.